Hello, everybody. It is a sticky Lord. Hey, good people. Welcome back to my channel. Today it's going to be a little bit heavier topic than I probably have ever done on this channel. I do feel like it's needed because that's what I am feeling at this moment, and it's based off of something that I've experienced recently. Several different people in my life that I've crossed paths with. I noticed our interactions did not end pleasantly, and these are relationships that were very long relationships and friendships, and also some that were short, but each dealt with the same thing, and I noticed that it was triggering me. Like, I've been very triggered lately, although at the end of the day, I must put this out here, I still remain hopeful. So that leads me into this topic, and what I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about first is understanding that in this whole creating your own reality and self-love and all this positivity that I talk about, it's important. But at the same time, I have to remain realistic. Also, that life happens. Life happens. Some things happen completely out of our control or not of our doing. People are going to be people and some people are shitty. Just real talk. People do shitty things to you because they're not awakened. They're not aware. They don't exude the same energy that you do. And unfortunately, sometimes we'll be caught in the crosshairs of that negativity, and things will happen. I still believe that everything happens the way it's supposed to, because even within that, it'll teach me something. So all of these negative interactions, non-peaceful interactions that I've been having these last couple of months, although they are very triggering for me and my own issues and traumas that I've had, and still healing from. It's a constant journey. They've happened for a reason, and they're for a purpose. So, trauma. We all have a story. We all have something that we have dealt with that is painful, very painful. Not to go into too much detail, because YouTube life is not about that, as far as you sharing too much about your history, because people will use it against you. Unfortunately, that is the nature of humans. For whatever reason, we just will. But that isn't the purpose of me saying that. But my own traumas, traumatic childhood. Childhood was not the worst, but it was not the best. Love my parents to absolute death, but they had their own issues they were dealing with, so sometimes they were not always able to show up for their children in the best way. They did the best they could. They did the best they could. I have worked through that in learning to forgive them and remembering parenting does not come with a handbook, and nobody is a perfect parent. One of the things that I cringe at hearing is like, well, I raised my kids right. You raised your kids the best way that you could. You don't know any better than anybody else what to do with them kids. Believe me, there is no best way to raise your kids. You do the best that you can for your children. And I had to remind myself of that with my parents in going forward, because I was so angry with them for so long about where they fell short. And I have to remember, they were kids once, and they had started having kids very young. They didn't know what they were doing, all types of stuff, you know. But I didn't know that. I had to, that trauma was there. Because as a kid, I don't know, I just know that my parents, it doesn't feel like I'm being loved. You know, and your parents is that very first relationship that you have with anybody is with your parents. So that trauma is there. Of course, childhood. And then when you start school and you start making friends, there's a trauma of childhood in itself. And kids are so cruel. They're little assholes. I mean, let's just keep it real. They're little bullies and they're little assholes, some more than others. And I was not excluded from dealing with assholes my whole life when it comes to from childhood on. And Unfortunately, females or girls tend to be the cattiest when it comes to that. So I dealt a lot with that. Probably not as much as others because I was very introverted. So I didn't have many friends by choice. Excuse me, I want to check my mail. I didn't have very many friends by choice. But with that being said, I still dealt with that friend group and the trauma and drama that comes with that. So then you move on to high school, that's a whole nother thing. Then college, whole nother thing. And then you start dating and whatnot. By this time you're dating. So now you're dealing with those traumas that come with that. For me, it's just been an accumulation of trauma that I had to work through. I had to sit back and take an assessment of my life and look at each of those and have a desire of wanting to heal and move beyond it, because where my life was going and how I was feeling did not feel good, and it felt like it wasn't me. Like it could be so much more than what I was currently experiencing. The low self-esteem, the insecurity, the anxiety, the carrying the weight. Because if the body does not have a way of getting that trauma out, it will do other things. Mental health is affected. You'll carry weight, so you'll be heavier or you'll be real skinny. It'll mess with your digestive system. Migraines, cancer, all types of things are affected by our psyche. And so when things are off balance, when those traumas remain unhealed, then if you look at your life, you'll begin to see there's something in me that needs to be healed. Those traumas need to be healed. And then you'll be constantly triggered too. They'll keep coming back up until you face them. It'll be something, some insecurity, something minor that'll come up that'll remind you, oh yeah, there's that daddy issue that I need to kind of address a little bit. That mommy issue's there. Ooh, goodness, I haven't let go of that boyfriend or that girlfriend and all of that abuse that was in that relationship. It's all types of things. It's all types of things. So that's what I've been dealing with. I've been triggered by those around me. And it's no fault of theirs. They can't control how I respond to things, right? Because I'm in control of this territory. I preach it all the time. How I choose to view my interactions or my emotions, that is my choice. Nobody makes me feel anything. They don't make me do anything. That is all Tyra, aka Sticky, doing that thinking and creating that feeling, because I get to choose how I respond to it. So what do we do with that? How do you move beyond the trauma? Well, first you have to face it. You have to admit it. So that's going to take some journaling. That's going to take some therapy. That's going to take whatever, some prayer, whatever you need to do. That may be removing certain friends out of your life, family, whatever you need to do, distractions, social media, whatever isn't bringing you joy and peace in that moment that is causing a distraction or a trigger, remove it for a little bit. Not saying forever, but you need to take a step back so that you can be with yourself and ask yourself those hard questions like, what's going on? What's really going on? Why are we feeling that? And if you dig deep enough, I promise you, with everything within me, the answers will come. The answers will come, and that is the beginning of your healing. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey is different. But the key is starting, and it's not easy. It's lonely. I have lost so many friends, and I don't like to use the word lost. I have to let go of so many friends and family because I'm very vigilant about my peace now, and anything that disturbs that, I have to let it go. I'm not here to fix everybody. They're not here to fix me. I'm here to learn how to love, give love, receive love. And that starts with myself. That shit is cliche because people use it and they don't really mean it. But it's true. Until you learn how to parent yourself the way you didn't get parented, I should say. Love yourself the way that you want someone else outside of you to love you. To love yourself the way that God, your creator, whatever you call that higher self, loves you. Until you can feel that with every fiber of your being and face those traumas, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck. You're going to be triggered. You're going to be, for lack of a better word, unhappy. Even though you know how I feel about happiness is subjective and it's circumstantial. But you will. You'll be miserable. There's just no way around it. You have to face those traumas. Somewhere along in that generational line, if you believe in generational curses, if you really want to take it to another spiritual level, because that trauma resides within your DNA. So you're passing that on to your children if you have children. And then they're going to pass it on to their children. And on and on and on. I decided, and I'm almost going to cry, but I'm not. I decided for me, my daughter would not inherit it. My son would not inherit that from me. That I would do the work, that it had to stop with me, that they would not carry on the issues of mental health, insecurities, depression, being financially stagnant in that brokenness, that they would know what true spirituality and faith was, that it was going to stop with me. If I had to be the burden carrier of all of this and every generational curse that my mothers and fathers and forefathers ever endured had to come to me, then so be it. Not to make myself out to be some martyr or victim or anything. No, I'm victorious because I know who I am. And you have to discover who you are. And you can't do that running away from yourself. I can get on here all day and tell you all the secrets of the universe, how to manifest all the money you want, how to manifest the perfect body, perfect face, all this glitz and glam, but it won't matter at the end of the day, and it'll never come to you if you don't do the inner work first. You can sit there and script in that book all day long. It won't matter until you do the work. You can speak all the mantras. You can say all the affirmations you want, light all the incense, burn all the sage, have all the crystals, have everything, all of these outside things. But if you don't do that inner work, it is for naught. There's no way. God cannot reside and work in a mess. And if that inner reality, that inner life that's in our minds, in our hearts, if it's not clear, nothing can come through, y'all. Take my word for it. I'm a living testimony of it. Trust me when I say, heal those traumas. Heal them. I pray that whoever is watching this video and whoever sees this video, and this is what you needed, that motivation to face it, face that fear, because on the other side of it is freedom and victory. I promise you it is. Today's the day, good people. Told you this is a little heavier. I had to stop because that lump came into my throat. That was a testimony, and that was me preaching, I guess. But it needed to be heard today. Heal. The world needs it. Your family needs it. But most of all, you need it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You're so worthy. So worthy. But you can't get there holding on to all of that shit. You gotta let it go. Let it go, let it go. Yeah, I can sing, but I ain't singing today. Real talk. That's it. I'm going to upload this. This wasn't a pretty one. This has been heavy on my heart. Very heavy. Very, very heavy. And it needed to be said. Share it with your friends, family, anybody that needs to hear this. Today is the day. Today is the day. There is victory to be had. But we got to heal. We have to heal. So, hit that subscribe button. Like. Please share. Please share. I don't even care about numbers on this. I just want the message out there. This is heavy. Oh, this is heavy on my heart. Nonetheless, I love you all. Thank you so much to all my new subscribers, old subscribers, people that just come by and watch the video and don't subscribe. Thank you. I love for you to stay, come back. I promise it's not always like this, but this sometimes, you know, life's. You need to have these conversations. So in the meantime, in between time, good people, I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.